the line, the leaders, Johnson and Holt. Holt will line up top and top and ready to line across the line. It's going to be Holt by 0.006 of a second. We are underway. SuperStar Cup here at Phoenix for 200 laps. Sixth machine around off turn 2. We have a caution on the racetrack. Huge wreck there. Samosian drives it in on the new tires off of turn 4. Connor Samosian, the new tire fall, more tire fall, one tire across the line. Connor Samosian is still the way to your chances. Welcome to Talladega, Alabama for the Talladega Super Speedway. Tonight we are back for the SuperStar ARCA Cup after a 3-week break from our holiday vacation. We're back here to kick off the final 3-race stretch here at Talladega for the to decide the championship. Practice is just wrapping up. We're about to get into qualifying. Before we get to qualifying, what's your thoughts for tonight's Alan? And how do you think these drivers are going to tackle tonight?
Yeah, it should be interesting here in these ARCA cars. You can't do the best bumping here on these super speedways like we saw earlier at Daytona, first race of the season. Bumping is not the best option here unless you really trust the person behind you and in front of you. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the dynamic of bump drafting will play a factor in tonight's race. I think that'll be the biggest difference in who can be up front and who's gonna be in the mid pack. Is the difference in who can bump draft and who can take a bump draft.
Yeah, exactly. Bump drafting can happen in this ARCA car, but it's going to be very tight. I mean, we've seen it at Daytona. Someone lifts off the rear tires and they go around, and that could easily change everything. So you probably be a little bit more comfortable with your teammates. So team game is going to be a big factor tonight. We also got to help your teammates get into the race with these heats too. We got 12 drivers going home tonight, so that is going to be a tough way to get in. I mean, you got to qualify here. We'll see these drivers qualify here. The top 2 will make it to the feature already. So we got a couple cars on the racetrack, I believe, so far as qualifying underway.
Yeah, their lap's not done yet. Obviously, coming down the back straightaway. This is Samuel Hoff right here down the back straightaway in that 17 machine. Got Thomas Spencer here, Cameron Craighead crossing the line here shortly. So, drivers trying to get up to speed here. And see if we can find our current points leader, which is Alex Anderson. That includes a drop, though. So, that would be a factor. See if I can find. I don't believe I see actually Alex Anderson in this race.
That'll be big because that will make him tonight his drop. No,
he is. He's just on the racetrack. Yeah. So he's just on the racetrack.
Just on the racetrack, yeah.
As Ryan Sauer sets his lap right here, I believe.
He's getting off the pit road. We got a couple different strategies. Some drivers try and go really slow, kind of keep the tires cold and engine temps cold, and trying to build it up for the second lap. But some drivers also take the first lap. We'll also see many of different lines here, as you see Samuel Hoff here down the back straightaway, using the high line all the way up to that double dotted white line. He'll diving into turn 3 here. Actually, no, this is his prep lap here, so he's setting up for this first lap, for his second lap. Currently, no one has set a lap time as of yet. As there's the first one, 54.464 from Thomas Spencer. I got time starting to flood in here, as we'll see where Samuel Hoff slots in for his first lap, but we'll see on his second lap. He's really high up on the racetrack to get that big arc into turn 1, so he's taking the big arc line here at Talladega. Typically see that at a mile and a half, but also can work here at a super speedway, so we'll see where this plays out for that 17 machine. Down the backstretch, way up on the racetrack. As Jessica Childs goes to the top of the board. a 53.831.
That was her first lap there. His second lap's coming back here shortly. I think it'll be the 22 machine. Gotta be first to cross the line here. As Thomas Spencer goes top of the board.
Thomas Spencer back to the top. We'll see where Samuel Hoff settles in. He's coming across the line soon.
As there goes pole
to the
position.
top of the board, 53.608. Great lap for that 17 machine.
Christopher Busch goes third.
Everyone's just kind of slotting in everywhere now. Christopher Busch moves up to third.
Here's Alex Anderson,
Jacob Wilson,
points leader right
fourth.
here. He also won the last race there at Legacy Atlanta before the break. As Jessica Childs goes up to fourth, now fifth. As Brock Morris up to third. First time we've seen him in a while.
Yeah, Brock Morris. He last race was at Watkins Glen. He dominated that race. So Alex Anderson here through 3 and 4 with the points lead with the drop. So he can't really have a bad race tonight. He's used pretty much his drop. Kansas, he had a really rough race at Kansas and also Richmond. Sabosian goes to the top over Hoff. Let's see where Anderson can slot in. Cross the line. Anderson would say 53.744. Not enough for pole.
It was 29.
I say that's pretty bad compared to other drivers that he's competing in the points. But overall, it's still okay. He still gets that plenty. As long as he can get through the feature and not get knocked out tonight, he should be fine. You can easily make your way through a pack here at Dega. Alex Anderson gonna have to make his way from the back. As qualifying just wrapping up, and that's going to be the 10 and 17 Connor Sabosian and the 17 of Samuel Hoff will be our front row for tonight's feature, and they will not have to worry about the heats. So that's got to be some relief knowing you don't have to go through the heats tonight.
Yeah, definitely Super Speedway. You still want to risk it. I mean, you might be a good driver, might be a good Super Speedway driver. It doesn't really matter sometimes how good you are, and especially as Super Speedways get involved in some incident that's not your fault. There's no chance of you coming back, really. But Zabosian on pole, second in points right now with the drop, so good for him. I believe pole does give you a bonus point. Let me check real quick. Yeah, it does. It gives you 1 bonus point, so it's pretty. I mean, 1 bonus point could be a factor in tonight's championship decision. Or championship standings. You never really know how it really shakes out, but we'll see. It's creating underway right now.
Yeah, and also a big factor tonight. I mean, Talladega, anything could happen here at a super speedway. I mean, and this could be a big shakeup for the points tonight. Now, the top two are Sabosian and Anderson. Anderson leads by 32 over Sabosian. But if these two have a really bad race tonight, then Nathan Johnson, if he goes up and gets the second wins the race like he did at Daytona early this season, he can gain a big chunk of his points gap back, which is 176. And Nathan Johnson could be in the fight for the championship after tonight if something happens between to those drivers.
Yeah, and Alex Anderson, I believe, finished second at Daytona too. So, he definitely is a good Super Speedway racer. So he'll have to work his way through the field here as we're rolling off for heat number 1. Only 6 laps here tonight for these heat races.
Yeah, 6 laps, and that's going to be kind of a short race. So, I mean, the aggression will probably be pretty high in these heats if you're outside looking in. But let's take a look at our grid for heat number 1 tonight, as Ryan Sauer was able to put it on the pole for heat number 1 as he qualified 3rd overall. Brock Morris will start P number 2. P number 3 will be the 29 machine of Christopher Busch. Jacob Wilson will be alongside him in that 51 machine. P number 5 will be the 46 machine of Dustin Coggin, and Christopher Morton is outside in that 82 machine. 7th will be the 92 of Nathan Fryer, and alongside him will be Nathan Johnson. We just talked about him. He needs a really good night tonight if he wants to keep alive in this points battle. So he'll start 8th in heat number 1. Brandon Wallace will start 9th here in heat number 1, and Alex Anderson, kind of a rough qualifying there. He's going to start 10th. He's got plenty of time. He can work up to get this heat win. He'll start up front tonight in that feature. Starting 11th will be the 79 machine of Tony Shelton and Dave Wright, in the 44 machine will start P number 12. 13th will be the 2 machine of Jordan Evans, and Cameron Cranker will be alongside him. Right here, our 15 car field for heat number 1 will be the 50 machine of Steve Rogers. So 15 drivers for 10 spots. Anything could happen. Also, just gotta stay out of the incidents. If you get a big incident, that could be your night over. Well, you have to go to the consolation. That's definitely not what you want to go into.
Yeah, definitely don't want to risk there. I mean, 6 laps here is gonna be pretty short, like we said. It's only gonna be about 5 minutes. So 5-minute shootout here tonight, and about to go green.
And green flag is out. We're underway for heat number 1. Sauer and Morris on the front row. As Morris with a great start already, he gets out front early on, get his nose out front. The outside lane, we'll see the difference between lanes throughout tonight. If the outside lane will be a little bit quicker, the bottom will be a little bit quicker. Typically, the bottom's a little bit better here in the ARCA cars because the lower power.
Yeah, side by side, the whole field pretty much still. We'll see who can make up some moves. We talked about Anderson in that 10th place spot. He's on the outside in that Coastal Carolina machine. So we'll watch him there. He'd be pretty good at Daytona. Obviously, Brock Morris is also a pretty good super speedway racer. So we'll see how that plays out. But already lap 1 to complete. Pretty much the same as the pace lap. Side by side, 2 by 2. The whole row back. Whole field back goes. Ooh, big move for Ryan Sauer there. Going up to block Brock Morris.
And Ryan Sauer moves up the block that 05 machine. Knows the outside lane seems to be a little bit more powerful right now, but I mean, we could easily, we saw before early in the season, the momentum shifts out of super speedway can quickly happen just like that. You can quickly get left out the drive, so you got to be on top of your toes and just be very careful what moves you make.
Yeah, Sauer looking like he's going to work both lanes. Christopher Busch behind him. Brock Morris on the outside. Still 2 by 2 through the whole field. No one's really made up too much positions yet, but here comes Morris with a good shove from Jacob Wilson.
And Jacob Wilson right on the back bumper of that 05 machine of Brock Morris. Now the third car in line, laying a little bit back. So that might slow down that outside lane just a little bit, but no one's really being too aggressive now and trying to make a 3-wide move yet. But I think coming into this final couple laps, going into this heat, that outside lane, someone from the back might try and move up and try and make a 3-wide and 3-wide move, and we'll see what they do.
Yeah, these races are going to fly by. 6 laps here is basically nothing at all, and I mean, we'll see who's going to be aggressive here, and if they even can make moves. Looks like no one's been able to really do anything. I mean, like you said, 3 wides are really the only way that you can really get up to the front, but no one's been able to do anything. It's been side by side, pretty much the same position as they were on gridding and during the pace laps.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any momentum shifts yet to each lane, but that's kind of expected with the lower power ARCA cars. The next gens here at Talladega, you can easily quickly get a momentum shift with each lanes, how fast they are. But a slower car, a little bit shorter, smaller runs, and it's kind of harder to get that momentum shift. But towards the back, Cameron Craig going 3 wide. Some drivers going to start the follow.
Anderson too, to the top side, 3 wide, halfway through this race, 3 laps to go, and these guys are getting aggressive.
Craighead with a good run. He's going to get to alongside Jacob Wilson now, but now they're in the long distance, long way around the track in 1 and 2, but he's still got a really good run. He's going to rocket off turn 2 here. He gets some help with Alex Anderson.
Anderson's still a little too far back. He might have actually hit the wall there. Anderson falling back. Middle of the pack doing quite well. Morse is clear of Sauer if he wants to take it, but he stays middle with Wilson.
The Craighead's still making very good pace up there. He stayed alongside Wilson that entire back straightaway. Now he's starting to fall back through the corner. He falls back alongside that 82 machine. They're trying to build some more runs. You got another car, Tony Shelton, hopping up at the outside lane. Let's see, someone could try and shoot middle. If that could be a dangerous move there as well, and could end up making a 4-wide move. I believe Nathan Johnson hopping up there right behind Alex Anderson with 2 laps to go, and here heat number 1.
3 wide to the whole field now as here comes Morris. He blocks low as Cameron Craighead takes the race lead off of turn 2, followed by Alex Anderson behind him. Here comes the top side.
Now it's top side and bottom side. The middle starting to falter, but now they're going to be 4 wide. Tony Shelton sent to the inside of Nathan Johnson. They're 4 wide as he into turn 3 and 4. This could end badly. A little wiggle, but they all keep it straight.
Man, these guys are really driving great right now, keeping it straight 3-4 wide. But here we come. Coming to white flag this time by. And we got Brock Morris in their lead side by side with Ryan Sauer. One car on the apron. That's Dustin Coggin on the inside.
They're Coggin on the inside. They're 4 wide again around the transfer spot. This is going to be big. You don't want to be
Oh!
here late, but
There goes Fryer!
Around the turn 1!
And he takes Coggin with him. Those two wreck down the back, or down in turn 1, 2. There's a 4 wide now for second. Anderson and Craighead up top. Sauer and Morris on the bottom. Morris backs out of it. He thinks better of it, as he has to really pull away. And, oh, bump drive gone wrong. Sauer around.
And they're almost go around. They all save it. Great saves from everyone there. Jacob Wilson out in the lead. Now through 3 and 4.
Does he have too big of a lead, though? Here comes Sauer.
But he should be safe. As long as he doesn't get wrecked here, he should be safe. But more contact towards the back of this pack.
Low, high.
To the top. A fake from Sauer on the bottom. And Ryan Sauer, they textbook fake. He's going to take the heat win.
What a race that was. And that was only 6 laps. And that was basically a whole feature race all in the one right there. And what a race that was.
And Ryan Sauer able to pick up the win there. Steve Rogers, the final transfer spot by 0.3 of a second, so he's able to hold on to it. So Steve Rogers will be the last one in from the heat. The rest will have to go to the LCQ. So let's take a look at our results here from heat number 1. So Ryan Sauer picks up the heat win. He'll start 3rd in tonight's feature. Jacob Wilson will finish P number 2. Brock Morris finishing P3. Tony Shelton finishing 4th. Alex Anderson, he started 10th. He will finish 5th. So he's going to be got a solid amount of spots back from that. Brandon Wallace will be 6th. Christopher Bush will be 7th. The Dave Wright will be 8th. The 9th will be Jordan Evans. And 10th, last driver in from this heat, Steve Rogers. And Cameron Craighead, Christopher Morton, Nathan Johnson, Dustin Coggin, and Nathan Fryer will all have to go to the LCQ. But Cameron Craighead will be the first out in the LCQ from this heat. So Cameron Craighead will have good track position for that start. We'll have to see how that plays out for him in this LCQ after we get through these other 2 heats.
He was up front early. He was really the guy who made the 3 wide really work at the beginning there, but just got caught up in an incident, I guess, and see how that plays out for him.
Yeah, but before we get underway here for heat number 2, let's take a look at our grid for heat number 2. You saw early on, Thomas Spencer was one of the first drivers to set his lap, and it was a good one too. So he's going to start first for this second heat. Michael James will start to his outside of the 89 machine. Starting in P number 3 will be the 60 machine of Isaiah Watrous, and Ruben Rodas will start P number 4 alongside him in that 21 machine. The 09 machine, Donnie Kite will start P number 5. Noah Abbott in the 32 machine will start P number 6. P number 7 will be the 40 machine of Aaron Benson, and Scott McLean will be in the 8th place position. Jimmy Geikos will start 9th. Alongside him will be the 26 car of Tyler Martin. That'll be the last driver in from the grid. Dwayne Young will start P11 in that 45 machine. Kyle Linsky will start 22nd and 12th. We'll start 12th in the 22 machine. 13th will be the 73 car of Jeremiah Holt. Dan Reverak will start 14th. And around here, our 15 car field will be Tate Dupret in the 52 car. So they'll have to make some moves up. So this Young, Herlinsky, Holt, Reverak, and Dupret gonna have to make some moves. I mean, they're starting outside looking in already from a rough qualifying, but I mean, they can easily make their way up. And we'll see if any of those 5 make their moves early on and try and get up front. The pace car is off now, is down in the trial. We're gonna slowly make their way to the restart zone. The green flag is out. We're on the way here for heat number 2. As Thomas Spencer gonna hit the gas pedal, gonna get across the line. Is Michael James actually able to be a little bit quicker there? Down to the turn number 1, Spencer and Watchers clear the outside lane. They're going to stick to the bottom for now, though. They got Donnie Kite right behind him.
Yeah, a lot more spread out than it was in Heat 1. Not side by side, but we'll see what moves people make here. There's Kite to the top, and he's going to try to get around Spencer early on. He has some help from Aaron Benson. Ooh! Isaiah Waltrus may have been looking for an inside move there, going 3 wide, and Spencer peeked his nose down in there.
That's old car on the wall there already. They shake up the rear of the field just a little bit, but down into the tri-oval. Thomas Spencer controlling both lanes so far. He sticks to the bottom though with Watchers. He thinks about looking up there to try and block Kite. Guy's gonna get to alongside him on the outside lane.
Oh, we gotta spin the back.
Herlitzky goes around. I think maybe just a single car incident there. Yes, it is. So Herlitzky gets spun and doesn't collect anyone else. So he's got to hope something happens to try and get back into this top 10. Or if not, you have to go through the LCQ, but unfortunate for that 22 machine.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to make up spots here once you get spun out at SuperStar with the draft. I mean, at some other tracks you can make up some spots, but not so much here at Talladega. Very, very difficult unless you have a big crash, like you just said.
Yeah, he's gonna need some help if he wants to get back into this transfer spot. But already 4 laps to go in here in heat number 2.
Spencer working both lanes, Kite up top, Watchers on the bottom. 2x2, kind of just how we saw in the heat 1. We'll see how aggressive these guys are gonna get as we're coming halfway this time by.
Yeah, halfway through heat number 2 is kind of a train just like it was in heat number 1 so far. Little bit of wiggly there. They're gonna be 3 wide towards the mid of the pack. Round for 5th. And one car gonna get left out to dry there. Not sure who that is.
Oh, 3 wide. Here comes Watchers to the inside of Spencer. He might have.
Kite on the outside lane. He says, have to be careful. Don't want to get yourself in an incident. Is some drivers going to go to the middle. Some drivers going to stay up to the top. So there's going to be 3 wide train. 3x3 down the back straightaway with 3 laps to go in here, heat number 2. Spencer hops down to the bottom. It's going to lead the 58 machine all by himself to the middle. That's Scott McLean.
That really slows up the top size. Now the inside really charges forward as Thomas Spencer leading the way. I think we got wrecked actually. Donnie Kite around. Dwayne Young, Dan Reebok around 2. We'll see what. Take a quick look at what happened there. Not see that off of turn 4.
Yeah, just out of frame. Car went around. See what happened.
Ooh, Kite got tagged.
Oh, Donnie Kite. Yeah, Donnie Kite gets tagged. Collects a couple others. They're going to have to go to the LCQ. That helps Kyle Kurliski. He only got 1 spot of that, though. To 14th, but down the back straightaway. 2 to go. Everyone quickly single files out.
Yeah, everyone makes it in the top 8 here to the next, or top 9, actually, I should say. No, it's top 8, excuse me. So top 8 right now, all in a single file lane. Will they make a move? If I was them, I would not. You're pretty much locked in unless you make a move and wreck yourself. But we'll see what these guys do with comes to white flag this time by. They have a move made there. I think it's Ruben Rodas. Oh, he's one car around. Aaron Benson. Aaron Benson around.
Aaron Benson goes around.
Hits
huge
the wall.
into the outside wall.
And he's got some damage there.
Going.
As here comes the rest of the 2 cars. As they're actually pretty slow too. As he might have to get up to speed before they catch him. It'll be close.
So I hope he didn't break that tire. I think he broke the tire there, so that's going to slow him down. He's in 10th right now. Can Donnie Kite catch him? But meanwhile, we're back up to the main pack. We'll keep an eye on that battle for that transfer spot.
The Kite is closing. Oh, it's big block. Thomas Spencer down in turn 3 and 4. Who will win heat 3 or heat 2? Excuse me. As Kite is closing the gap now, 1.4 from him and over Aaron Benson. Remember, Aaron Benson was the driver who got into Donnie Kite, so he will not be take too kindly to that. As they're side by side for the race lead. And
Here
for the win.
Watchers on the outside. Watchers versus Spencer. And Spencer's going to get it. Here come off in turn 4 for the transfer spot. Benson with the damage. Kite goes low. Kite, after being wrecked with 3 to go, thought it was over. Donnie Kite's going to take the final transfer spot barely. As Aaron Benson getting wrecked with coming to the final lap of the heat. But Thomas Spencer picks up heat number 2.
Yeah, what a race that was. I mean, pretty much identical to Heat 1, but a little bit less 3 wide action, I would say. But still, very aggressive racing late in the race, and that cost a few drivers some spots in the heats, spots in the main event. So we'll see how the LCQ shapes out, because that one's going to be very, very interesting. But we still have one more heat to go here in tonight's race.
Yeah, we're gonna have we'll see how this Heat 3 plays out too. I mean, everyone saw how that first few heats go, so they got a little bit of experience of how that's going to happen. But before we get to the Heat 3, let's take a look at our results here for Heat 2. Thomas Spencer will finish P1 over Isaiah Waters by 46 thousandths of a second. Scott McLean finishes third. Jimmy Yikis rounding up P4. Tyler Martin finishing fifth. Ruben Rodas in sixth. Jeremiah Holt picks up P7. Noah Abbott P8th, and Tate LaPrette in ninth after being wrecked as well. And Donnie Kite also getting in is barely getting in there. Finishing 11th was Aaron Benson. He'll have to go to the LCQ. Dwayne Young will be 12th. Kyle Herlitsky 13th. Michael James 14th. And Dan Riverark in 15th in that 16 machine. So those 5 are going to have to go to the LCQ. And we're going to have a lot of people out from the LCQ. 12 drivers going home tonight. So those drivers will be looking for a lot of help in the LCQ.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, based off what the heats have been, it's gonna be pretty exciting as a viewer and as a watcher to see how those final 5 or so laps of that LCQ will be.
I think the LCQ will definitely be a lot more aggressive compared to what we've seen in the heat so far. We'll have to see. I mean, they also got to be careful. They don't want to get in a wreck, because in the LCQ, if you get in a wreck, that's pretty much your night over. You're out of the race. So, but before we get to that, we have to get through heat number 3. Let's take a look at our starting grid for heat number 3, as Daniel Molnix will be P number 1 here for heat number 3. The 70 machine of Craig Martin will be to his outside, and he will be outside pole that 70 car. Starting third will be the 28 machine of Jessica Childs, and Timothy Presley will be P4. P5 will be the 02 car of Zachary Tyler, and alongside him will be the 18 car of Travis Sheed. Dylan Lamp will start P number 7. Noah Benson will start 8th. 9th will be the 15 car of Joshua Clatterbuck. 7 car of Jared Skinner will start P number 10, so he'll be the last one in so far. 11th will be the 95 of Alex McQueen. Michael Mullum in the 13 car will start 12th. 13th will be the 88 of Dan Adams. 14th will be the 56 car of Andrew Goetta, and the running or 15 car field for heat number 3 will be the 11 car of Nate Bogus. So all those outside the top 10, they have to make their moves in. We'll see how it works out for them. But coming to the Geico restart zone, Molnix and Martin will lead them to green, as green flags on their way. We're underway for heat number 3.
Great jump from Molnick right there. Basically clear the top side. So anywhere he wants to go, he's probably just gonna stay bottom most likely.
Molnix out front so far. Didn't get out too far, so that is okay. I was worried about that. If he got too good of a jump, he'd get out a little bit too far compared to the rest of the field, and he'd easily get swamped. But he's all right. Still leads the bottom. Martin on the outside lane, trying to make some moves, trying to get alongside that 8 machine. Back straightaway, still a little bit of wiggling throughout the field, but everyone looks nice and stable so far. Oh, it's Daniel Molnix down
He
pit
did
road.
jump.
I think
He did jump.
He jumped the restart.
Wow.
That's big for that 8 machine. That's going to be his heat over. He's going to have to hope something happens through the main pack.
Yeah, but be something crazy to happen for him to even have a chance to get back up to the top 10.
Yeah, he's going to need a miracle to get through the heat here. So you might have to be LCQ mode, but that's going to move Childs to the race lead on the inside lane. It's got Martin to her outside. Down the back straightaways, Martin and Presley working together well on the outside lane. But Childs and Tyler on the bottom, but now they're going to be 3 wide, almost there for a second. That's going to cause a big check on the outside lane. So that leaves Childs and Tyler clear from the rest. As Martin finally gets a little bit more momentum back. Not going to be clear up. Tyler not going to be clear up. As Martin finally gets to the side-by-side with Joshua Childs. So that outside lane is starting to regather. It built back the momentum. I'm going to pull alongside with the inside lane. No one's made it 3 wide yet. No one being too aggressive so far.
Come to halfway this time by, so we'll see how the aggression.
Laying a little far back from the back there.
Yeah, I think something might happen. I mean, they're only 2x2 for now, but nothing crazy has happened yet. But like I said, we're coming to halfway this time, so I'm guessing the aggression is going to ramp up here shortly. Not be surprised if one of those mid-pack drivers tries to make it 3 wide here in these next lap or two.
We'll have to see. Hopefully it all stays clean and green. Lamp with a big
there's
wiggle
McQueen.
There, 3 wide towards the back.
McQueen under your line. Not sure if that's 100% allowed under your line, but
yeah,
McQueen
I think that's why he backed out of it there.
Well, they get a rules update on that one, but 3 wide in the middle pack there might be Clatterbuck, maybe 3 wide Benson. One of those 2 drivers. See, better good look right here. Yeah, it looks like Benson was trying to make 3 wide, but he might have hit the outside wall because he's falling back quite a bit.
Yeah, Benson falling back a little bit, but now through 3 and 4. Child still leads over Martin. Martin on the outside lane, not able to get alongside. No one really being too aggressive up here into the front of the pack. The outside lane lacking a little bit of cars. So 2 laps to go here in heat number 3 in the final heat of the night. Craig Martin and Timothy Presley on the outside. Yeah, Joshua Childs and Zachary Tyler on the bottom. Down the back straightaway. Both lanes still even. No one's making any 3 wide moves. They're from the back. You gotta start making your moves now. With 2 to go. Still not a lot of impatience seeing from the pack. Everyone's still staying pretty patient as they're off at turn 4. They're coming to the white flag here for heat number 3.
Yeah, probably the most... Oh, McQueen in the wall. I'm not sure what happened to McQueen there. Spun around, but coming white flag this time by. We'll see who makes a move here first.
No one's made a move yet. Presley all over the back bumper. The 70 machine of Craig Martin. That's got to be a little bit careful there. That could easily end the disaster. Off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Both lanes still even. No one's making a 3 wide move. You can see Bogus. He's laying a little bit back from the outside lane. If he tries to make a move, Craighead. I mean, Stan Adams, not Craighead. Thinks about it through the back there, but Martin cleared down from the bottom of Childs. So Martin clears Childs on the bottom. Now on the outside lane, Presley going to try and make a move. Can he get the run to try and steal heat number 3? 3 wide towards the back, 4 wide towards the back for the transfer spot. Across the line here for the win. Craig Martin going to be able to pick up the heat number 3 win. Everyone crazy.
There's a crash in at the transfer spot.
Huge crash at
Adams
the end,
gets
but the
it.
final transfer spot goes to Stan Adams.
By 25 thousandths of a second over Joshua Clatterbuck. Dan Adams gets the final transfer spot in heat number 3. And that was probably the most tamed heat we've had all night.
Yeah, they really were very calm that whole entire heat. They really waited a long time to make their moves. You don't see any big moves until off of turn number 4 on the white flag.
Man, I just don't think that's going to happen in the LCQ. The LCQ is going to be very, very, very entertaining here. It's Craig Martin coming out pit lane for his Heat 3 win.
Let's take a look at our Heat 3 results here as they grid up for our LCQ. So Craig Martin picks up heat number 3 over Timothy Presley. Joshua Childs will start P number 3. Zachary Tyler starts 4th. Travis Sheed will round out the top 5. Sorry, finishing 4th. Sorry. Michael Mall will finish 6th. Dylan Lamps finishing 7th. Jared Skinner finishing 8th. Nate Bogg gets 9th, and Dan Adams, our final transfer spot from this heat, he'll finish 10th. Joshua Clouderbuck, Andrew Guetta, Noah Benson, Alex McQueen, and Daniel Monix will all have to go to the LCQ, so they finish 11th through 15th in their heats. As now it's LCQ time, so 3 drivers make it from the LCQ, so you have to be up front if you want an opportunity. 32 cars take the grid. Oh, sorry, not 32. 15 cars take the grid for the LCQ. Looked at the wrong starting grid, but 15 cars fighting for 3 spots. Let's take a look at our starting grid here for the LCQ. This is your only chance to get in now. 12 of them go home. Cameron Craig will start on the pole for the LCQ. Aaron Benson will start 2nd. 3rd will be Joshua Clatterbuck. Christopher Morton will start 4th. 5th will be Dwayne Young. 6th will be Andrew Guetta. 7th will be the 19 of Nathan Johnson, and 22 of Kyle Hurlitsky will be to his outside 8th. 9th will be the 34 of Noah Benson, and 10th will be the 46 of Dustin Coggin. 11th will be Michael James. 12th will be Alex McQueen at 95. 8th, Nathan Fryer will start 13th. Dan Rebark will start alongside him in 14th. And 15th will be Daniel Monix rounding out our field, as he had a jump to start there in heat number 3. So a lot of they're all gonna have to make their way up 3 spots. You can see I expect we're gonna see a lot of aggression here in this LCQ.
Yeah, kind of what I was mentioning. I mean, we saw how aggressive the other heats were, especially heat 1 and 2 specifically. Probably was about halfway through this race. I think the first 5 or so laps will be pretty tame, but after that, 4 laps, excuse me, 8-lap race. First 4 laps will be pretty tame, but then the second half of this race will be pretty crazy, and I'm expecting we see, my prediction, 2 pretty big wrecks here in this race.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, you definitely don't want to be in a wreck. If you get in a wreck this race, your night is going to be over. I mean, 3 spots. There's no way you get those spots unless everyone wrecks. But we'll have to see how that plays out. 3 spots matter, so you expect to see a lot of aggression. But Craighead and Benson going to lead them to the green. Green flag in the air. We're underway for the LCQ. 15 drivers for 3 spots with 8 laps as they're underway.
Pretty much what we've seen all night long, just side by side from pretty much the whole field on back to front 2 single file. Now front 3, as here comes Clatterbuck, maybe. He's going to stay behind Craighead. So here comes the outside lane, Aaron Benson, the big run.
Down the back straightaway, Benson's got a good push from that 82 car of Morton on the outside lane.
3 wide.
Going to be 3 wide for second already. As Clatterbuck stuck in the middle. Can he get down in front of Hurlitsky? No, but they're going to be 3 wide in the main pack already, as the top 2 clear of the field so far. But off the trial, 1 lap down, they're already 3 by 3 throughout the entire pack, pretty much. That's now that you got to imagine towards the back, that's going to really slow you down. Aaron Benson, he's going to be all the way to the back now. He's going backwards, not what you want to be doing here in the LCQ. Just kind of a bad luck there with the runs. To settle back down now, double file through the field. Cameron Craighead, Dwayne Young, 1 and 2. Joshua Clouderbuck on the outside in 3rd. Hurlitsky on the bottom. So those 2 are fighting for that transfer spot so far. Right now, Hurlitsky, though, not really in a good spot. He's stuck on the bottom, 3rd in line. I think for me, I'd probably want to be leading either line or be in 2nd of either line.
Yeah, I just don't really know if this is a great place to really 5th on back to be. I mean, 5th on back, you don't really have a great chance of the white flag. So you got to set yourself up good in the first few laps. Is one driver falling back a little bit. That's Noah Benson. He went through our middle, got caught in the no man's land right there. He's falling back quite a bit now. Check him up front. It's Craighead. As we have one car in the middle, Dwayne Young actually.
Yeah, Dwayne Young is shoved out of the middle. He gets into Guetta. Contact made. Wiggles for both of them.
Still
They're still
inside each
making
other.
contact. Still saving it. They're kind of stuck together there for a second. They're going to be 3-1 again. Great saves on those drivers. Thought for sure that ended in disaster.
Oh, contact! There they go. One car flipping.
Dwayne Young up and over into the catchment, into the stands. Huge crash there. Dwayne Young into the stands. Luckily, it's not real life.
Yeah, we have lost Dwayne Young and a few hundred fans.
Young, we have lost Dwayne Young in the sport ender there. Off of turn number 2. That shakes up the entire field. Huge wrecks.
Yeah, basically, top 5 kind of together. Can Benson stay with them? Think he will get back up to them. But top 5 pulled away big time over Michael James. He's by himself, and he has damaged Nathan Fryer right there behind him. These two have to work together to have a chance. Maybe these top 5 wreck, and there is a good possibility that these guys could still wreck because it's only the top 3 that make it. So 2 of these drivers in the top 5 will go home as we're halfway through the race right now.
Yeah, halfway here through the LCQ is now the front pack is down to 5 cars. So 2 of these 5 go home. As after Dwayne Young falling into the grandstands, that shook up the entire field.
I'm guessing we're going to see these guys stay single file and then make a move on these white flag lap. I mean, that's what I would do if I was one of the top 5. There's no reason to risk anyone else catching up to you.
Yeah, these guys have to be careful. Don't want to get yourself in a wreck. I mean, there's not really anything you can. I mean, there's no really second packs here. Everyone's just kind of stragglers at this point. So these top 5 are battling it out for this LCQ win in LCQ spots. So it's between Craighead, Herlitsky, Johnson, Coggin, and Benson. Now, if you're Craighead, now you're in a less powerless position because if someone makes the move, you don't really have anyone to go with you. You just kind of have to block it and hope someone does go with you. But honestly, now it's all power. It's a Benson and Coggin in the 4th and 5th spot. They want to think, who's this Coggin? He's going to look to the outside. Benson's going to go with them. So to make this side-by-side move, they can't stay there, but Johnson hops up too now. So he's back 3, trying to make some moves.
Yeah, a little earlier than I expected. I mean, there's no one really behind them. They're about 10 seconds behind, but man, very aggressive. 4 wide, almost 3 wide middle. There goes Coggin as he's really being aggressive here. 2 to go.
That was really close there. He almost got turned by Johnson. Barely clear. As through 1 and 2. Coggin leads with a big move there, but now off the back, Benson's a little bit off the back, a little bit of contact between Orlitsky and Johnson. There's a lap car they just passed. But down the back straightaway, entering turn number 3. It's Kyle Orlitsky in 3rd, side by side with Nathan Johnson. And this is also big. I mean, we also saw Dwayne Young. He's 4th in points. He's going to be out for this tonight. Nathan, well, actually, Dwayne is a little farther back, but is a higher up compared to most. Top half, but a big one here for Nathan Johnson. 3rd in the points, 2 to go. Well, white flag here in the LCQ. Nathan Johnson, he needs to make the race tonight if he wants to keep his chance alive. He's side by side with Herlitsky for the final transfer spot. Off of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Dustin Coggin, Cameron Craighead, Nathan Johnson, Kyle Herlitsky, and Noah Benson battling for the final 3 spots. Lap car stays high. Coggin leads. Craighead staying in 2nd. Johnson,
Benson
he
goes
lost
low.
his help.
I just don't know if he can do it unless there's a wreck here. Oh, he's going to door him.
Johnson stays low, a little bit of contact, trying to sidetrack Benson, trying to make a move, but they're single file. So they go up the block again.
Wow.
Dustin Coggin picks up the LCQ win, but Nathan Johnson, 3rd in points. He's going home.
That's a big championship implication there, as he's going to be basically out of the running here. He was only 175 points back, which might seem like a lot, but each position is 5 points. So you can make those up in the next 3 races, but he's not even gonna have a chance to do so here at Talladega, which would be a big one he could make up here if those front two maybe make a mistake in the race.
Yeah, he's still gonna have he's gonna have to use this as his drop now. But I mean, you're already being so far back. That drop was definitely already helping you, and that's gonna hurt him even more because now you have to take your worst race and put that in as well, as he didn't even make this one. But Dustin Coggin picking up the LCQ win. He'll go through to the feature. He'll start 33rd. But let's take a look at our LCQ results before we get into our feature tonight. But Dustin Coggin picks up the LCQ win. Damer Craighead finishing second, and Kyle Herlitsky finishing third. Those two will start 33rd, 34th, and 35th for tonight's Mothers Against Truck Driving 160. Noah Benson finishing fourth. Nathan Johnson finishing fifth. They will be going home. Michael James, Nathan Fryer, Joshua Clatterbuck, Daniel Molnix, Christopher Morton rounds out our top 10. Andrew Greta, Alex McQueen, Aaron Benson, Dwayne Young, and Dan Reberard will be going home tonight. They'll have to pack it up and come back next week. They want to try to make the field, but big championship implications with Nathan Johnson missing the race there.
That's gonna be a big one. And could be a what if here late in the season if he has a good race these next few races, and it could be looking back at this race and be like, what if he made this race? I mean, you never know, but I mean, this was probably the best chance he had at gaining some points on his championship rivals too.
Yeah, and that's big. Before we get to our feature, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back here from Talladega. Welcome back to Talladega, Alabama. Tonight we're here for SuperStar ARCA Cup race number 10. The final 3 races of the season start tonight. Tonight we're here for the Mothers Against Drunk Driving 160. It's fielded 35 cars to take the track for 60 laps tonight. Before we get underway, let's take a look at our starting grid for tonight's Mothers Against Drunk Driving 160. As we saw at the top of the show, the 10 machine of Connor Shabosian took the pole, and Samuel Hoff will start second alongside him. Starting P number 3 will be the 5 car of Ryan Sauer. Alongside him will be that 3 car of Thomas Spencer. Craig Martin will start 5th, and Jacob Wilson will start 6th in that 51 Victory Shoe machine. Isaiah Walsh will start 7th. Timothy Presley will start 8th. 9th will be the 05 machine of Brock Morris, and 10th will be the 58 of Scott McLean. 11th will be the 28 car of Jessica Childs, and Tony Shelton will start alongside her. Jimmy Geikens will start 13th, and the 02 of Zachary Tyler will start 14th. 15th will be the 67 machine of Alex Anderson, our points leader so far tonight. He's had to work his way up through the field a little bit. They have Tyler Martin in that 26 car, so he's outside in 16th. 17th will be the 18 car of Travis Sheed. 18th will be the 98 car of Brandon Wallace. Ruben Rose will start 19th, and Michael Baum will start 20th. 21st will be the 29 car of Christopher Busch, and 73 of Jeremiah Holt will start 22nd. 23rd will be the 55 car of Dylan Lamp. Alongside him will be the 44 car of Dave Wright. Running our top 25 will be the 32 machine of Noah Abbott, and alongside him will be the 7 of Jared Skinner. Jordan Evans will start 27th. Alongside him will be the 52 car of Tate Lucret. 29th will be Nate Bogus in that 11 machine, and 30th will be a 50 car of Steve Rogers. Starting 31st will be the 09 machine of Donnie Kite, and Dan Adams will start P32. And our first transfers from the LCQ, the 46 car of Dustin Coggin, 48 machine of Gamer Craighead, and right here our 35 car field tonight is that 22 of Kyra Herlitsky. He's got a lot of work to do, but I mean, all he can do is go up now, so he doesn't have to worry about going back.
That's a good point. Drivers making their way through turning 3 and 4. So Aaron, what would you be thinking right now going to this race? 60 laps here, 35 cars. I mean, there's a lot of racing to go, but we'll see how it plays out. What would you be thinking early on as you were driving here?
Personally, I think we did get our fuel number. Fuel number's about 28 laps. You can try and save that with 30, so you can try and pull that extra lap with draft. I'll try and save that extra little bit of fuel. Try and make it all a one stop. Also, I had teammates. I'll try and get together with my teammates and work together so we can play some pit strategy against the field, maybe jump the field. But that's definitely going to be a strategy going into tonight. The pace truck off. iRacing pace truck that pulls off at the back of the research zone. We're underway for the Mothers Against Drunk Driving 160 here from Talladega. Connor Shabosian off to a great start. You get a couple of drivers dropping back there towards the back.
Brock Morris right there.
Brock Morris, I think, just wanted to get to the back. Doesn't want to be in that front pack early on.
Yeah, he's not racing for points. He's only racing for the win, so that's all he really cares about at this point. So definitely a smart decision if you're only racing for a win.
Is everyone actually very calm compared to what we've seen in the heat so far? Everyone quickly single files out up front, so everyone being very calm so far, being very patient on the first lap. So soon to say that we're almost 4 wide there for a moment, but back to 3 wide for just 1 lane. Let's complete the first lap here at Talladega.
Yeah, single file out really early on that bottom row. I mean, not too surprising here. They know they have 60 laps. They know they have to pay at least once, maybe twice if they can, or at least once maybe. They can stretch enough, but as soon as I said that, here comes Walters to the outside lane, the top side coming through. It's Spencer, and that's Wilson also on the outside. Actually, excuse me, that's Preston.
Through 3 and 4 for the second lap. The outside lane starting to build a little bit of momentum. Through the tri-oval, Sabosian still leads, but Sabosian kind of in a bad spot if we stay green the whole way. He's burning a lot of fuel out front leading. We'll have to see it. I mean, it's a low chance we go green all the way, but if it does happen, if you can make that extra stop, that'll be really good.
Yeah, I'm guessing Zabosian, if he stays out front, whoever's leading the packs, inside outside, will have to stop twice. He will not be able to pit only one time, but maybe someone that mid-pack, maybe like a Thomas Spencer right now, who's kind of a few car lanes back, or a few cars back from the front pack, the very front, I should say. He may be able to stretch it only one pit stop here. But I mean, 3 laps at Talladega is
still a long way.
Yeah, 3 laps at Talladega, I think roughly is about.
There it is. There's the first caution of the night.
Cameron Craighead around, and also Steve Rogers around. Those are the 2 drivers
in the
I
very
see.
back. Steve Rogers goes around. Let's take a look at what happened there.
Very back too. I mean, like you said, very surprised. Whoa. Jordan Evans
involved there. Tags Cameron Craighead. So let's start off with Evans. Originated with Jordan Evans.
Guessing it's just a bump gone wrong from Craighead, maybe.
So Lamp hops in front. Yeah, just an unexpected checkup. Evans just gets tagged by Craighead and goes back up the track.
He actually did save it.
Craighead.
He actually did. Evans saved it from going to the outside wall. If you look closely, I mean, he kept it off the wall. I don't know if that was kind of neck situation there, but even then, Evans didn't look too badly damaged, but actually it looks like it's pretty actually bad damage, but not sure. Must have been Neca there. One driver behind him. Steve Rogers. Oh, he hit the wall right there.
Evans almost saved it there, but just Craighead was there. Just really know where he can go.
But that one, so he tried to drop back.
He actually lost a draft, so that kind of helped him, that yellow, but he barely missed the wreck there. Great avoidance for that 05 machine.
And with how tight fuel is, will we see some drivers come down pit lane? This is pretty much a fuel window that you can do one stop and drivers come down.
One driver, Isaiah Walters, he was up there leading, so he takes the option to come down pit road. Most other drivers, they stay out on the racetrack.
Because I believe you said it was 28.
Anyone else came down pit road.
28 laps, I believe, right? So this would put you around 32, and 32 plus 28 would be another to lap 60. So if you do go green the rest of the way, watch for these drivers on pit lane to maybe only doing one stop. Also, most likely, the likelihood of that is pretty low, quite frankly. But still, you never know. At Talladega, I feel like Talladega either goes green quite a bit or is caution fast somewhat.
Well, we'll have to see how that plays out. I mean, yeah, a lot of things can happen at Talladega. A lot of factors. I mean, you'd have a big pack, big crash. I mean, a lot can happen. So I have to see how that plays out with these drivers pitting and their fuel. So I guess most of these drivers, everyone who stayed out, just assumes we're going to have another caution soon. They can have that opportunity to come down and pit. We're probably not going to have a green flag run to the end. But I mean, anything could happen here. You never know. But I mean, also Nathan Johnson, that's a big one. He didn't make the main race, so it kind of gives a little bit of a relief from Alex Anderson and Connor Cervosi, knowing that one that could catch up behind them, you know, not really a factor anymore. Now Samuel Hoff is a factor. He's about 200 out, but I mean, he still needs a lot of help. He's gonna need a lot of help to make it to make a championship run. Jared Skinner as well, but Alex Anderson and Connor Cervosi are pretty much dominating the entire season so far. I mean, those two have been out front pretty much every race. Both of them have they have a 7 top 10. Both of those have 7 top 10s out of their 9 starts. They're the only two that have 7 top 10s. That's kind of how it's been. I mean, really, the guys up front in the points, they're the ones that have the most top 10s, the most top 5, top 10s.
Yeah, I mean,
As
the point system in this series really rewards consistency over everything else, really. If you consistently run up front, then you're going to get the most points easily. It's kind of how most point systems are, but usually this one's pretty significant, each position being worth a lot. So the difference between finishing, let's say, 8th place compared to 15th is a pretty big margin. I believe it's about, let's say 15th and 8th, so 7, so 36 points between the two. 35 points, excuse me. It's a pretty big margin there.
yeah, and that makes a huge difference. I mean, and that's especially what can happen tonight. I mean, you could be leading. I mean, I've seen it happen before. You could be leading with 200 feet to go in this race, and then all of a sudden you're turned up in the catch fence and you're finishing 20th. So anything can happen in the final at any point of this race, and that could change a big points factor, especially this late into the season. I mean, Sebastian leads, and he's just turned with 200 feet to go in the race, and then he finishes 20th, and Hoff scoots on by, or Alex Anderson scoots on by to take the win. That would be a massive points gain for whoever takes advantage of it. So that can happen.
Well, we'll see here as these guys are going to restart here on lap 6, coming to 7. So if these guys top off, if a few drivers top off on fuel, maybe we'll see. Doesn't look like anyone did, so no one topped off on fuel again. Craighead actually did, excuse me. So one driver topping off on fuel, Cameron Craighead. So this thing does go green the whole way. Watch out for Cameron Craighead and those other drivers that pitted. Around 15
I think you could probably try and save a little bit of fuel under this caution, but definitely if you pitted there, that'll definitely give you a little bit extra security on that fuel. We'll have to see how that plays out. You have to work your way through the field, though, if you're from the back. But the pace car, you're going to take that hard left turn onto pit road, and supposedly you're going to lead them back to green as we make the long trek to the Geico restart zone. We're back underway here from Talladega. So he's getting off to a great start. He's actually clear of Presley already. He's got Ryan Sauer right behind him. Presley gets turned around. Back up into the field, I think. Huge right there. Multiple cars involved. As he tried to slot down in front of Craig Martin, and a huge hit from multiple drivers there. Try to cut down, trying to slot in line, and just turned and spins back up into the field. And that's the chaos that can quickly happen here at a super speedway.
You guys piling in very late, kind of an ARCA break type situation, you guys. But take a quick better look at this one.
It's none of our main championship contenders not involved there, so
yeah, there was a gap there slightly, but just not enough. He didn't go down enough.
It's not quick enough. It just comes down and spins back up into the field. The big check up there. Sheed gets turned around as he tried to check up for it. No one really could. Driver behind him really couldn't react in time. Couldn't really see because it was just had a windshield full of bumper. And multiple cars involved. Nate Bogus, he just got through it there. Dan Adams involved as well. I mean, there's multiple drivers involved. Donnie Kite, I think, a little bit involved.
And that's one of the big ones here. The first big one here tonight. Second caution out, and we'll see these drivers coming out pit lane here. I'm guessing. Obviously, everyone who was involved in that wreck will come out and fix some damage, but maybe some other drivers stop off and fuel yet again. Because at this point, you can definitely make it on one stop if you pit here.
You know, easily making all on one stop. We'll see if anyone dives down pit road. Sebastian likes to stay out on the racetrack still, so I mean, just trying to save you under the yellow, I guess. Want to keep your track position. I mean, you just saw right there. I mean, if you had been packed, you'd been perfect spot to get in that wreck. So Sebastian probably just feeling comfortable up front. Doesn't want to put himself in a dangerous situation towards the back there. We take the 2 to go signal there. Everyone's just still pacing under the yellow so far tonight. Sebastian, our race leader so far. 4 spots behind him is his championship competitor of Alex Anderson. So Sebastian trying to gain some points on Alex Anderson after the drop. So Sebastian was the points leader before the drop was put into the points. So without the drop, if we had no drop, Sebastian would be our points leader by probably over about 15 to 20 points over Alex Anderson. Since Anderson had Kansas, he had a rough race and he had to come back through the field. Sebastian's easily been the most consistent. We've seen him up front all season long so far. Had the break to get back into the swing of things. Had the break to kind of reset as well for a lot of these drivers. Well, these drivers had a 3-week break to just kind of reset practice for Talladega and the final 3 races they really wanted to. Trying to get their minds off a bad stretch of races. You weren't very consistent in those first 7, but I mean, if you weren't very consistent, now you got a little break to kind of reset and try to get back in the swing of things here. Start off the new year, especially with our championship contenders there. If you kind of like morale was down for these top 2 in the points, and kind of had a little bit of week off, get some nice break in there, and try to practice a little bit more, get some more consistency back into it, and get some more momentum. That can be a big factor of how you race, and the confidence as well. That could be a big factor going into those final 3 races. Take the 1 to go signal there. Sebastian and Sauer are going to be on the front row, and the pace car lights come back on as we do have a delay. Not sure what caused that.
Anyways, we've only seen about
an extra pace lap here.
Yeah, we've only seen about 2 green flag laps, 2, 3, or so I think. I don't remember exactly when the first deal. I think it was about 2.5 or so. I mean, there hasn't been too much green flag racing so far, so we haven't really got a good feel of the race. But I mean, all those first 2 laps that we had, I mean, these guys were pretty calm up front. I mean, it was kind of the back, just a bad shove checkup that really caused the first wreck. The second wreck was just a little mistake there, but a little mistake takes out 10+ cars. I mean, that's all it takes here at Talladega. At a normal racetrack, a little mistake may take out 3-4 cars around you, but I mean, Talladega, it can really affect half the field almost if you make one little mistake. Misjudge a gap here, maybe check up a little bit, you don't realize someone in front of you is checking up, and huge chain reaction causes such a massive wreck there. Shows you how little just little mistakes can cause a lot of incidents, but still a lot of drivers still on the racetrack. I think we have actually we have every single driver on the racetrack. So not sure. Do they get a fast repair possibly? I don't believe so, but Travis Sheet's still in the pits, but still, every driver but one's still on the racetrack, so we still have 34 race cars on the track there, so pretty impressive based off that wreck right there. Got a lot more drivers to be out.
It's still got a good bit of drivers on the racetrack. 29 cars on the lead lap so far. They do not have a fast share tonight, just like the rest of the season they've had so far. But we'll restart here with under 50 to just under 50 to go. We'll restart 49 laps to go here from Talladega. So still a long way of this race to go. So we get a decent bit of run in here. So we still have the one-stop race. The base truck going to take that hard left turn on the pit road, back in the restart zone. We're back underway here from Talladega. So we'll see if we can get into a swing of things here. As Ryan Sauer quickly hops in line there. Everyone's starting to get back up to speed. We'll start to see some action, and we'll see how aggressive these drivers can get.
Yeah, most is single file throughout the front few rows, pretty much all the field. There they go, side by side. That race lead. Ryan Sauer trying to push Zabosian. He has a little bit of gap between him and Zabosian. But on the top side, Samuel Hoff and Craig Martin working the top side.
And Martin and Hoff able to work with each other well in the outside lane. Hoff and Martin gonna hop down in front of Zabosian though, and that's gonna leave the outside lane with only a few cars as Anderson hopped up behind McLean there. So still a couple of drivers barely on the outside. You see Childs a couple cars behind the outside lane. As she closes that gap down to Alex Anderson's bumper. So the outside lane is starting to bunch back up together. We'll start to see a little bit more momentum from both lanes. Still very early on in this race. We'll see how aggressive some of these drivers can get. Do get a lap lead points as well, so Zabosian already got some of those, so Anderson probably wants to try and get his lap lead. It's that extra bonus point, trying to match Zabosian's bonus points. Don't want to be losing points to Zabosian.
Yeah, especially your main rival on the points championship. 32 points separate these drivers. So, very close.
So far, they're right next to each other, so both of them playing very well, playing safe up at the front, trying to not put themselves towards the back and being involved in the incident, trying to get up front, stay in front of everything. As Anderson pushing McLean to the lead, McLean not close to get down. As Anderson's all over the back bumper of that 58 machine of Scott McLean. Not able to get the inside, not able to get him clear to the inside lane yet. I don't know if he wants to get down there. The outside lane seems a little bit better, but now that momentum is starting to die off a little bit as the top three of the outside lane is starting to fall back as they lost their help. It's 3 wide towards the back, around the back half of the top 10 there, just outside the top 10.
with the Wilson in the bottom. There, my hole in the middle. Can't see the car on the top. I think it's Craighead
It's
maybe.
a 52 machine. As the 52 car falls back there, that 52 of Tate Lupret. So Lupret's going to try and fall in line behind her. Litsky. The outside lane starts to build back up some momentum. They get back to 5 cars single file. As McLean and Anderson with a good run on the outside. McLean's going to get that lap led. Quarter of the way through this race already, even with all those caution laps we had early on.
And there's a big pack of 19 cars up here. Jared Skinner, Nate Bogus, a little further back. Brock Morris kind of hanging back there, but 19 cars in total up here on the 35. One driver's down pit lane already. Those are drivers that were involved in that wreck earlier. And one car on the wall. And it's
Lupret again into the wall. He'll might lose the track. Gotta be careful. Gotta get back in line quickly.
I think he did. He just lost the drop there. Tate Lupret down to 19th, and he's going to be way back there from Jared Skinner. Unless these guys kind of check up a little bit, which can happen naturally, but not likely as these guys behind the main pack are pretty spaced out.
These drivers pretty spaced out at the top, about 10-15 together side by side. Everyone else single file off the track. I had a lot of incidents so far that took a lot of cars and damaged a lot of the cars out of it already. We're down to about, we're only down to 15 in this main pack. Actually 16 to 17, I think. Fred is 19th off the pack, first driver off the pack, so 18 car main pack. Everyone else either damaged off the pack or laps down. So this is a big wreck early on, taking a lot of cars out.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of, even if they're not completely out of the race, the damage that they have is just too significant here at Talladega to even compete with the main pack. So once you're about a second back, it's pretty much game over unless you get a caution. But, I mean, a decent long run here. I'm guessing guys kind of settling in, 2x2. There's one guy making 3 ridings. Cameron Craighead actually on the top side.
Yeah, Cameron Craighead, we saw him in heat number 1. He was one of the first drivers to make the move early on. He's trying to make that again, but no one wanted to go with him this early on so far. As both lanes still, it's kind of trying to bust just 2-lane trains so far. This is both lanes just trying to work together. No one really making too many moves so far. It's just the outside lane. Can't really pull alongside yet to clear someone on the bottom. It's just the bottom lane seems to be a little bit more dominant, and that's kind of typically what happens in the lower power cars, such as the ARCA car, compared to the next gen or trucks and Xfinity cars we see normally. SS and lane kind of losing the momentum again. That's going to be 3 wide, almost 4 there towards the back half of the top 10. It's her
going each other!
Middle, going to make a little contact. Jeremiah Hull going sideways. He's going to go around. He's going to collect a couple others. Ruben Rodas goes around as well.
No caution.
Machine.
Oh, there it is.
There's the caution. It's the 44 car as well of Dave Wright goes around.
Actually, none of those drivers that were actually making contact got involved in that wreck. It's kind of they both saved it, but it was behind them that they checked up and wrecked each other. Wow, that's pretty surprising.
Right.
It looked like they just kind of joined each other, came together there. Look at this. Yeah, just a little bit of contact there, and behind them, 21 machine of Ruben Rodas checking up, and Dave Wright just doesn't realize it, and around they both go. Yeah. right, not even on the brakes, full throttle there. I guess he didn't realize they were checking up. You can't really see much when you're right behind someone like that.
Yeah, just not enough really time to react. Rodas checking up.
Yeah, he saw
on board here,
nothing
just
there.
couldn't really see anything.
You might have saw a
Yeah,
little
just-
smoke, but I mean, not POV. You just could not see anything happening in front of moving Rodas. Bad.
So now everyone's gonna get lined up behind the pace car and pit road will open. We'll have to see people pit this time around. I'll be shocked if they decide to stay out this time. But Craig Larkin and Scott McLean gonna lead them to the pit road.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if someone stays out. Actually, Craighead stays out there. He did not come down pit lane again because the pace laps here just do not allow you to. So he's gonna stay out here, but he did pit 16 laps ago, so he's one of the drivers that came down pit lane in those first few cautions.
As everyone goes into their stall, Alex Anderson, a fuel-only call there, I believe. He's going to be able to get first off of pit road. It's going to be a driver, Mr. McLean. Mr. McLean's going to get that one. Actually, no, Anderson comes to Anderson there. So, great race off of pit road. Those drivers taking fuel-only. The Cameron Craighead staying out of the racetrack. Same with Dave Wright after Wright just got in the incident there. But that will be our pit stops for that caution. So I have a couple of rave around cars as well. Actually, those two staying out actually going to block those rave around cars from getting a lap back. So under pacing, they're going to get this all sorted out. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back here from Talladega. Welcome back here to Talladega, Alabama, to the Talladega Super Speedway for SuperStar ARCA Cup. We just got off that caution. We're coming back to the Geico restart zone. Alex Anderson and Cameron Craighead taking fuel only. Able to get out front. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway here from Talladega. Cameron Craighead with the control car on the start there.
And on the outside.
He takes
interesting call
on the
there.
outside lane. Yeah, interesting call there because the outside lane hasn't really been as dominant as we've seen compared to the next gens or in Xfinity cars we see in the trucks as well.
Yeah, you just can't push. The person behind you just can't push you as easily as you can in those other cars, but Anderson probably easily going to be able to clear going to turn 3 and 4 and off of turn 4 most likely. He actually is clear right now.
As Anderson clear, Craighead on the top, a little bit of contact with McLean there. Everyone keeps it together, a little bit of wiggle. McLean's going to hop up in front of Craighead. That's to leave a gap behind Anderson that Martin's got to fill up. So now the outside lane starts to prevail just a little bit. McLean going to perfectly play that perfectly. He should hop down in front of Anderson. Craighead shoots its way in the gap there. Great move. That could have ended the disaster there.
And not even halfway through this race, and the aggression level is a little bit higher, but I believe it's since you guys pitted last time, you can go on one-stop strategy here. But Craighead did not pit, so he's last pitted 20 laps ago, so not 5. So big run actually for Kyle Orlinsky and Samuel Hoff on the outside lane. They go up to 1 and 2, and here comes Thomas Finch on the top side, and Connor Zabosian in that 10 machine.
Yeah, Rosian on the outside behind Spencer, but interesting note here, this pack is pretty small. They got a little bit of separation with the second pack there, so I have to keep an eye on that gap between those two packs. As actually, I believe that first driver in that second pack is the 2 car of Jordan Evans. So this first pack of 13 cars, so keep an eye on that gap between 13th and 14th. Those gaps will matter as if that second pack can close that gap back down, but still over half the race to go. The second pack gonna have to get working together. They want to catch the main pack. But down into turn number 3, Samuel Hoff moves up to the front with Kyle Herlitzky right there in the race lead. Samuel Hoff looking for a good run tonight. Jordan Evans right behind him, pushing that 17 car of Samuel Hoff. Herlitzky and Hoff leads the lanes. McLean there in 3rd, pushing Herlitzky, and Thomas Spencer pushing Samuel Hoff. The inside lane started to lose a little bit of momentum there as you see those gaps between Craighead and McLean, but that gap closes back down. Got a lap car here of Dave Wright. They're catching up. Wright's going to stay to the apron to get out of the way.
I believe Wright had a penalty there for pitting on lap 2 of the caution after staying out. That's most likely what happened to him. He did stay out. He was going to be 2nd, but being there the 2nd time around gave him a hold there. So he just started there. But up top goes Scott McLean. As actually leave Kyle Orlinsky all by himself for a 2nd, and here comes Cameron Craighead to help him.
Yeah, McLean playing this lane perfectly. He's hopping out from 2nd from the bottom, getting clear up top. We're getting the run and hopping right back down to the bottom. Textbook kind of leapfrog strategy here at Super Speedways. McLean's playing that perfectly. That's going to be a big factor. If he can keep doing that late in this race, he'll be perfect. Perfect opportunity to get the race win. So far, so clean so far for this first pack. That second pack starting to close that gap to actually Jordan Evans and Tate Luprette. Beautiful pushing. Actually, it's Jacob Wilson, I believe. Great pushing from the back there. Jordan Evans going to get back to the main pack as those two actually caught back up. The rest of the second pack kind of fell back huge as they weren't able to get their way sorted back together. But Jordan Evans, the last driver in. Actually, I think he tagged along with a lap machine. They did. He tied on the lap machine of Noah Abbott. Those guys were able to work together and get back up to the main pack and ditch the rest of the other field, which I believe has a little bit of damage. So now we're up to about 14 cars in the main pack, 14 lead lap cars. You get a couple of stragglers of lap cars as well. This time we'll start lap number 30 is McLean and Hoff still leading the front pack, 3 wide towards the back of this main pack. It's Donnie Kay in the middle there with Noah Abbott, so Donnie Kay also lap down. So those guys are battling for the lucky dog. So that's kind of its own battle as well. So if caution happens, we'll have to see who's in front for that lucky dog, but they also can't get involved in the incident as well. So I have to be careful with that as well. But they got a couple more lap cars they're catching up to, so that's going to be more of a battle for the lucky dog. If they can tag along, they'll add more cars to this pack. So far, so good.
Talked about the hole going up top, so no need to worry about them. But still, so far, like you said, so far so good. Two attitudes. The inside actually slid a little bit through the travel. I'm not sure if that was a bad bump from Walensky or Craighead. But Hoff clears for now. Will he take it to the low side? Don't believe he will. He stays up top with Spencer. We are officially halfway through this race.
Yep, 30 down, 30 to go here from Talladega. As everyone's still kind of staying calm, side by side so far. No one really being aggressive to try to make moves. As they last pitted around lap 20, so they still got another 20-ish laps on fuel. So they're gonna have to and go to about 10 to 15 to go on fuel. No one really making any moves so far. Still staying calm and collected. Since we're just past halfway, I think it's time we do a little bit of a LRA crank it up here from Talladega. So back from our crank it up segment there, Samuel Hoff, Thomas Spencer, our top two so far. Scott McLean pushing Spencer on the inside lane. As the aggression still staying pretty low so far, no one really being too aggressive. The 2, 3, and 4, Samuel Hoff, Thomas Spencer, Scott Zerosian, and Alex Anderson, 2 championship contenders so far, second and third on the outside lane. See how those two get aggressive to try and play in their safety a little bit. Trying to stay a little bit safe, just trying to get up front, stay safe in the pack, stay out of the wrecks. Still 35, still as they're on lap number 35, still over 20, about 25 to go here. So still a long way left to go here in this race. Sammy Hoff, Thomas Spencer still 1-2 in the lead right now. Still picking up lap cars. As they pass Joshua Childs there on the inside lane.
One car on the wall.
I believe. Yeah, those lap cars trying to get out of the way there. Oh, turn number 2 down the back straightaways, picking up another lap car. So a lot of cars. There's just a lot of stragglers. There's just damage. Can't really hold on to the draft, and they're just getting lapped every couple of laps.
One thing to note here, Cameron Craig had probably got to keep pitting here soon. He last pitted 31 laps ago. Pit window was told to be about 28 laps, so probably can stretch another maybe 1 or 2 laps. It looks like he's in the inside lane, so he might be coming in here pretty soon. I know we got a few cautions here, but going an extra 4 or 5 laps is still going to be pretty tough for him.
I wonder if that could be a little bit of strategy there with Cameron Craighead. He's got his Sun Drop Racing teammates Dan Adams and Jordan Evans. He's got Jordan Evans up in the pack as well. He does not have Dan Adams. Dan Adams being in an early incident. But Evans not really an opportunity to pit here. If he can drag his teammate behind, drag a couple around, they can kind of jump the field if they wanted to. If they can get a couple, 3 or 4, and then if they do get a caution, they can stay out and take the track position. But Cameron Craighead really no one he's got to work with so far. It looks like his teammate of Jordan Evans staying up front, staying up top so far. As there goes Cameron Craighead down pit road now.
Yeah, Craighead can only go about 32 laps there, and obviously we had a few cautions in between it, but actually was reset there maybe? He missed his pit box.
Blinked out there for a second. Yeah, missed his pit box too. That's definitely going to put him in a really big hole there. He's going to dig himself out of.
Yeah, because usually when you pit here at Talladega, you can get back up to the main pack usually, maybe fight for a lucky dog, but with that mistake, that might cost him a chance at a lucky dog position.
Yeah, that's going to lose him a lot of time, and I mean, and we also, I mean, just as that tells you how tough pit road is. I mean, we saw it in the season open at Daytona.
Oh, yeah.
About half the field missed their pit road.
That could play out again
that
here.
That could happen easily here too.
Yeah.
But still, the aggression levels have stayed down as Donnie Kite actually cycled his way up to the front of the pack here. He is a lap down, but now he's going to be on the lead lap, so if he catches a caution, he'll be in a great spot. Part of that Juicy Spider Racing team. Saying she actually got a pretty big group of guys if they want to help each other. They have Ryan Sauer, Connor Sabozian, Samuel Hoff as well. So if those guys can work together, they can try and undercut and short pit. I mean, everyone can try it. We'll have to see if anyone tries that, if they can get a couple cars to split that up. So far, so clean here in this run. We're about halfway through this run. We start just under 40 to go. So they got to pit in about 10 laps at longest. We'll see how early anyone can pit. I mean, if you pit, the earlier you pit, if you can just stay with a little pack, Even if you get a caution, you can stay out before everyone else pits. If you get a caution before everyone else pits, you can stay out and jump the field. No one has yet to try it so far. As Alex Anderson, Kyle Orlitsky, and Jordan Evans actually getting out in front by a long shot here. As Donnie Kite.
Oh, one car. Oh, right in the lap car. I think he got into the lap car. I'm not sure who that was. 58 of Scott McLean got into the lap car there. He has major damage.
Yeah, big front end damage there.
Sure
That might hurt him.
why.
If he can stay in the draft, he should be okay.
Not sure exactly what the plan here was, but there was a lap car up ahead. Oh, little contact there.
Wilson kind of moves up, and yeah, just really nowhere you can go. Wilson moved up there.
That's
just not really much you can do. He can stay in the draft. He's got an opportunity, but he's all falling off the back. And now we're single file, so I think everyone's getting ready for pit stops. So what's happening here? Everyone's trying to single file out here, trying to put themselves in a great opportunity to pit.
Yeah, these guys can pit anytime they want here and out, and they will make it on fuel. Just gotta strategize with your teammates, with the drivers around you, and hope for a caution, not fall at the wrong moment. Or you're
side by side for lead still with Herlitsky and Anderson. Kite trying to stay on the lead lap. Well, trying to put himself on the lead lap. He is the lucky dogs, trying to stay out front, but now he's lost his help as Herlitsky ditches him. Chalisi hops to the bottom as Kite's gonna have to try and find a hole in line as everyone is single file behind him. No help on the outside lane. It's got a couple of car lengths gap here in front of Jacob Wilson. We'll have to see how long these guys have been going. They've been about 23 laps, I believe, roughly. So everyone's kind of making their moves towards the back of this pack. Anyone peels off the pit road. No one peels off the pit road there from the main pack.
no one yet. When will we see the first driver come down pit lane? One of these drivers are just trying to stay out as long as they can, hoping hope not for a caution, or for a caution maybe. And maybe that's why they're waiting so long. I mean, you got to have enough time to try to make a move here. Because if you, it's kind of like any other racetrack, a tire strategy. Because if you pit too late, then you don't have enough time to make a move. But here comes a lot of drivers on the top side. Doesn't look like they'll be putting this time by.
Yeah, the outside lane starting to come back together. I think, honestly, if I would get a couple of teammates if I could and just try and shortcut the field, you can get about 3 or 4 cars and work together very well. You can easily go faster than the pack, but also it's a little bit easier to do in a kind of a next-gen Xfinity car or cup car, truck, because you can push, but really can't really push here. But it's kind of all air pushing here, and with this ARCA car, can't really push. But I mean, anyone could try it. But you got a lap car coming up in front here. They're gonna stay off to the inside, I think. It's after the apron. Just slow up the inside lane a little bit. As Craig Martin, he opts out in front of Herlitsky. We'll still this time by. We'll have 15 laps to go. See one in this main pack. No one pitting in the main pack yet. Heard a couple pitting from a smaller pack, just kind of stragglers pitting. Seen a couple of those come down pit road, but 15 to go here from Talladega. Here comes Donnie Kite. He's trying to make the outside lane work 3 wide. He's trying to get his lap back. Trying to banking on a caution here. Donnie Kite not able to make anything work on that outside lane so far. Still through 3 and 4 side by side. Double file through the whole field so far. So Bozy and Sauer leads the field now. The 2 teammates controlling the outside lane. Sebosian's gonna hop down in front. Oh, Hoff slots in line there. Forces his way in. So now they got the 3 teammates up front of Juicy Spider Racing. Those 3 working together. It's gonna be very, very good for those 3. They can all pit together. They gotta be careful though. I mean, pit road, we saw it at Daytona to start the season. Pit road, very tough to get on, especially with the ARCA cars. Not really good brakes compared to the top 3 series of NASCAR. Down the back straightaway. 14 to go. Pit stops going to happen at least in 5 laps. 5 laps is probably when they're going to start running out of fuel.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they come down this time by.
Yeah, teammates line in. Kara Karholitsky coming down pit road now. He's got maybe a couple others coming down.
Locking up.
A few more, locking up. Gotta be careful. Don't speed. Think they make it.
Karholitsky's the first pit box.
They did make it. No speeding penalties there. So Herlitsky, a couple other. I gotta see who else pitted with him there.
Jimmy Geikis and Zachary Tyler.
So those 3 drivers all on the lead lap. So we'll see if those 3 can work together. Can jump the field. As now, meanwhile, the outside lane is starting to fall off as everyone's trying to slot in line.
And they're becoming this
we'll
time by.
Reacts here this time by.
We're 27 laps into the run. So this is about the fuel window we were talking about earlier. 28 laps. Lap 27. So we'll see what they do here.
Front on the radio, Jordan Evans, he will be coming out pit road this time. Donnie Kite comes around as well, but he's also
in lockups.
For a lot of lockups.
Yep, they go off. There goes Evans.
Jordan Evans going to miss the pit road. That's going to be a black flag for that 2 machine.
Everyone else makes it.
Everyone else makes it into pit road nice and safe. No penalties there between all the others. So leaves the main few up front now. About 4 or 5. Jacob Wilson and a couple others kind of side drafting each other back. So Jacob Wilson has to be aggressive on pit road or he's going to lose the draft. Now hearing over the radio, so these first 5 cars, they're going to come down this time by. The 12 laps to go, coming to 11. The rest of the field's going to come down pit road. Unless anyone's trying to fool anyone on the radio, no one's going to try to fool anyone.
Really sitting in deep. I think he made it in time.
Great stop from the... Did he get it slowed down? Yes, he did. Great pit entry for Sabosian in there.
That was really good. No lockup at all. I thought he overdrove it a little bit there.
So no pit stop errors there between at least speeding. So other than Jordan Evans, so everyone's kind of cleaned it up. But oh, just kind of Sabosian just saw him. He overshot us all just a little bit. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. Here's Samuel Hoff, so that's going to cost him a little bit of time. He's going to be towards the back of this pack. Question is, where's the rest of the field of those drivers pitting? That's the second pack
coming through the trial. Now. You got Scott McLean right behind him. They're not really working together though, so they might not be able to get up there in time. So
they might lose the draft. Herlitsky. So Hoff is the first one off. He's off of turn 2 right now. Gotta be careful of the blend line there. Herlitsky's off of turn number 2. Hoff, a great pit stop, though I think he's a little too far in front. He's way out in front, though. I think for Hoff, that might be a little bit kind of a burden. He's all by himself. He's going to easily get eaten up here. And for Herlitsky and that smaller pack, they're going to lose the draft. So it's going to be that front pack all together now. There's Brock Morris, Jared Skinner, Nate Bogus. They lead as they have yet to pit. Samuel Hoff just gets caught by the main pack. So now we're down to 5, maybe 6 cars in the lead pack, but Justin Child's lap car in that. 2 laps down in 20 seconds. So they'll play a factor, possibly. You're actually going to give the draft a little bit to maybe a couple lead lap cars. That might help.
Yeah, Morris, Skinner, Bogus, they still have not pitted yet, but I was going to say that here they come out pit lane. Craig Martin going to be coming out as their leader. We still got Anderson and Zavosi in the top 2 in the point system. Points lead. Right behind. Oh, we have a spin on pit lane. I think it's Nate Bogus around, actually. Could have been a caution. He's still not. He's not in pit lane. He's on the racetrack, actually. He's doing burnouts in the trial.
Trying to get back going. He finally does.
That easily could have been a caution there. He was not actually in the pit lane itself. You have a penalty though, but 9 laps to go. And pit cycle has been complete. Everyone has pitted and can make it to the end on fuel.
Yeah, so now that leaves the top 5 in their main group. There is a second pack a little bit farther back. It's Justin Childs, Tony Shelton, and Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson, the only lead lap car out of that, about a second and a half back. You see just off turn 4 there. You also got the group with Herlitsky a few cars back. If these guys can work together, these packs, they might be able to catch this top 5 and maybe make a shot at the race win, but they got to work together. We need to go. That time by, Wilson closed the gap to those top 3, so this is going to be a little bit interesting. These packs are going to close the gap back down. They're going to start to these packs are going to merge, and that's going to make more cars be able to chase down this gap. Now you have to be careful. Typically, when you start to see packs merge, that's when you typically start to see incidents when people start to make aggressive moves. So we'll have to see if this pack can close that gap down. So Jacob Wilson, Kai Herlitsky, that 6th, 7th, those packs are going to merge. 2 seconds. They're 2 seconds back from a race leader of Craig Martin. Gonna have another lap car to kind of close that gap in. As Herlitsky caught Jacob Wilson, but he goes out to the outside towards the back there. These top 5 stay together. As those packs have actually starting the battle behind them, so these top 5 are going to start to pull away.
Yeah, these guys could have worked together, but big shuffle there, 3 wide almost. Sometimes side by side is a little quicker, but I just don't think in this case it will be. But you never know. They are gaining a little bit actually on Samuel Hoff. Karolinski down to 1.6 seconds now between him and Samuel Hoff. All you gotta do is be within about a second of the pack ahead. Wow, they are gaining actually a little bit.
Start gaining. They're back single file now, so they maybe get a little bit organized to close that gap. They're right there. They're just there. About half a trial in front with 6 to go here from Talladega. Herlitsky and Wilson, the 2 lead lap cars from that. They also got Scott McLean, Zachary Tyler, and Jimmy Geikis. It's going to give this pack, it's going to double this pack size to make it 10 lead lap cars. And they're going to have
they're going to get there. They are catching big time. They're going to get there. So this pack is going to grow quite a bit for the race lead.
We'll see how the aggression ramps up as Herlitsky and Wilson. They're actually working together really good. They're actually going to bridge the gap. They're actually going to bridge the gap from the second pack to the main pack, so they might be able to lead the rest of the field. But now they're battling for the main pack now. Sabosian hops up with Ryan Sauer as Herlitsky and Wilson bridge the gap, kind of like the Peloton's the breakaway in a Tour de France or any cycling race. Any cycling fans out there watching?
Well, you know, Aaron.
But down into turn number 1. 5 to go here from Dega.
Sabosian in the lead. What a move from him. I think he saw in his rearview mirror that the pack behind was catching up to him. He decided to make a move there as Anderson down the 7th now. That 6 positions actually pretty much ties him in the points. About a 2-point gap between these 2 drivers now in the point system.
We'll have to see, but Sabosian leading, Anderson second. Anderson is our points leader, but he's about to 6th or 7th, and I mean, anything can happen now. You could be from first to last easily in the final couple 100 feet. They just got to keep themselves clean and together. There's still about pack of 7 up front. This pack behind, they're a couple tenths back. They have the drive, but they're not able to close the gap down. They're kind of battling together. Only a few cars that are actually lead lap in that second pack here. Scott McLean,
still is
Scott McLean and Jimmy Geikis. Also Zachary Tyler. Those guys are the only drivers on the lead lap there. So there's only be 3 lead lap cars behind them that can get into this pack. Everyone else is a lap car. But the intensity ramping up. 4 to go. So Sabosian, our race leader, he's gonna have to try and block both lanes. He's got two teammates behind him pushing him. But off of turn number 4 into the trial book. Coming to 3 laps to go here from Talladega. Connor Sabosian leads that lap. 3 laps to go. 3 wide on the top between Donnie Kite and Jacob Wilson. Donnie Kite's still a lap down, but he's still influencing this battle for the win. He's pushing Jacob Wilson on the outside lane. There's going to be 3 wide for the second row. Kind of an offset 3 there. As Connors Wilson, he's got to block 3 lanes now.
I don't know. He's not able to. Here comes Martin in the middle. And here comes Anderson go to the middle too. As the very top side, Wilson and Kite fall back. So they're gonna, oh, it's Kite around!
Turn 4! And that's going to bring off the caution with 3 laps to go here from Talladega. That's going to be a huge shakeup.
And Kite was going to be the lucky dog, so we'll see who gets I think it's going to be Nate Bogus here at the lucky dog position since Kite was involved in that wreck.
And that's going to make our first green-white checkered attempt. Let's see what happened here. Donnie Kite. So he tries to slot in line in front of Scott McLean. McLean with a run. He shot the gap under, got into Kite, turns Kite around.
Yeah, I mean, I get McLean. It was about 2 laps to go, coming to 2 to go, and he's on the lead lap. But I mean, it's still a very aggressive move to make like that. But anyways,
kind of went under the yellow line a little bit there too. I think Kite just kind of blocked it off enough, and then he just got turned, and that's gonna bring out a yellow.
Almost got contact under caution.
That makes a big difference here, because now with green flag stops, did you fill it up all the way, or did you fill it up with enough to have enough for a green white checkered attempt, or did you only fill it up enough to go the distance? So now will we see any of these guys tapping to come down pit road to take some more fuel for a green white checkered?
Yeah, I mean, they paid 10 laps to go, so I think they should easily be able to make it. But like you said, they may not fill up the whole tank, so in theory they should be able to make it pretty easily. But like you said, we don't really know exactly the fuel amounts these guys took during the pit stop. I'm guessing they definitely they're smart enough they were willing to take a full tank of fuel during the pit stops.
Yeah, I don't think they probably filled it up enough for about 1 tank. It's Jimmy Geikis and Scott McLean, the only 2 lead lap cars that come down pit road there. Actually, so scoring wraps up here. Actually, sorry. No, there was a smaller pack, actually, other than those top 7 or 8. You did have Jeremiah Holt, Thomas Spencer, Jared Skinner, Tate Lufret, Brock Morris, Cameron Craighead. They were on the lap, but they were way off the back. They were in their own pack, but that's going to put them back into this race. So that's going to leave 16 cars on the lead lap, and St. Boniface will get the lucky dog. So that'll be 17 cars will be in this race and still battling out for the race win.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think it's kind of give you one of those heat finishes that we saw earlier. These guys are gonna be very, very aggressive with 2 laps to go. You don't have enough time really to make up a lot of spots, especially in the mid pack around 10th or so. And if you're in the top 5, you're staying pretty good right now. You have enough time to make some moves. You only have to really pass 2-3 people if you're on the third row, inside or outside. So in the top 6 pretty much have a good chance of winning this thing. Everyone else kind of a longer shot here, especially in these ARCA cars. You can't really bump draft that great, so you can't really make a move with your teammate or another driver on the very top side like you could do in a truck or Xfinity series. So, but I think we'll see a couple bump drafts here. It might lead to another big one here tonight.
That could definitely happen if they can get back to the white flag. Now, actually, with a recent update in iRacing as well, they don't actually have to fully get back. They got to get to where the white flag is raised in the sim, which is here at Talladega. It's about as they enter the tri-oval. So if the leaders can get to that, there will be no more cautions. So they have to get back to the tri-oval to make it official. But still, that's a lot of time for an incident to happen. But Sebastian and Anderson, they were in that main pack. And that was definitely a lot safer where they wanted to be, but now this caution is going to trigger this green-white checker, and that's definitely going to add a lot of nerves to where they were. Now a lot can happen with these points battles. Anything can happen here. I mean, saw it happen earlier on. A lot of incidents can happen.
Yeah, and each position's 5 points, so pretty much position-wise, only 6 positions separate them in point standings right now. So as of now, Sebastian would be the points leader, depending on the bonus points and all that. But we don't know exactly how many laps each person has led or so-and-so, but they're pretty much the same, give or take. Nothing too crazy. I think it's like 1 or 2 bonus points for each thing. So that could be the difference, though, of who has the bonus lead after this one.
Yep, and some drivers who can benefit will be Samuel Hoff and Jared Skinner if these drivers get incidents. Pace car is off, and we're underway. Green, white, checkered attempt number 1. We're back underway here from Talladega. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to the side. Carlos Sebastian, Ryan Sauer, 1 and 2.
Top 3 cars, single file on the bottom. No help up top from Craig Martin. Anderson already up to 4th place. Great moves for that 67 machine.
And Alex Anderson, he's in a prime position here. He's the first car clear. If he can get up, he can maybe make a move. The top 3 are teammates. They're not going to make any moves on each other, most likely. They're just trying to pull away. They're going to try and block these lanes for Connor Sebastian. But 2 to go through 3 and 4. Everyone's single file out there, 3 wide towards the mid-pack as they're kind of sorting their way out. As Connor Sebastian leaves the field, Samuel Hoff and Alex Anderson, they hop up top into the trial. White flag, 1 lap to go. They're going to make it back. The race is official. Who will be able to pick off the win?
As here comes
Alex Anderson, a big push to Samuel Hoff there. Yeah, here comes the 3rd lane on the outside lane. Big push on the outside lane. Not able to make anything happen. Can Samuel Hoff or Alex Anderson or Jeremiah Hull hop up? But here comes the outside lane. Cameron Craighead, Zachary Taylor, Kyler Linsky on the very outside lane, trying to make something happen. Meanwhile, the 2 Juicy Spider Racing teammates of Connor Sebastian and Samuel Hoff blocking both lanes. Connor Sebastian with his teammate behind him, Ryan Sauer.
He's really pushing
trying to take
here.
the race win away. No one can
Hoff.
make anything work so far. The outside lane is going to have to work.
Hoff's got to run. Hoff has to run.
Hoff is going to run. It's going to be a drag race to the line. He's got help from Anderson across the line.
Hoff gets it.
Emotion. Huge crash across the line, but Samuel Hoff crashes crosses sideways, and he wins here in Talladega.
What a race that was to the finish, and Samuel Hoff gets it done. Wow.
38 thousandths of a second. And Samuel Hoff takes the win. And he will win the Mothers Against Drunk Driving 160 here at Talladega. As he just barely gets his teammate of Connor Sebastian, and Connor Sebastian gets 2nd over Alex Anderson, and Alex Anderson getting 3rd. So Alex Anderson playing that perfectly, only not going to lose too many points to his points rival of Connor Sebastian.
Yeah, only one position separating those 2 drivers. And it's going to come down to these final 2 races. I thought Talladega would widen the gap or narrow the gap, but barely did much there. Just narrows it a little bit, but man, these next 2 races are going to be hectic for that championship.
It'll definitely be a big championship battle. As Samuel Hoff, he also did what he needed to do. He got the race win, but he barely gained anything. His 2 championship rivals gained right behind him, so he didn't get the help that he needed. He's still in a chance for it, but he's going to need a lot of help going into those final 2 races if Hoff wants that opportunity.
He's going to burn down here on the front straightaway at Talladega.
burning it down here at Talladega. While it continues to burn it down, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our top 3 interviews here from Talladega. Welcome back here to Talladega. As we just saw the finish, the Mothers against Drunk Driving 160 here for the SuperStar ARCA Cup, as Samuel Hoff took the race win across the line sideways over his teammate of Connor Svosian, a 38 thousandth of a second. And Connor Svosian has suspension finishing second. Alex Anderson, his teammate, championship rival, finishing right behind him in third. Jared Skinner finishing fourth. Ryan Sauer rounding our top 5. Thomas Spencer finishing 6th. Jeremiah Holt and that 7-3 car finishing 7th. Craig Martin finishing 8th. Carl Liskey finishing 9th. Cameron Craighead rounded our top 10. It's here tonight at Dega. Brock Morris finishing 11th. Scott McLean finishing 12th. Zachary Tyler finishing 13th. Jacob Wilson 14th. Tate LeBret finishing 15th. Dave Boggins finishing 16th. Our final car on the lead lap of the 25 car of Jimmy Geikis finishing 17th. Isaiah Watchers finishing 18th. Jordan Evans finishing 19th. And Noah Abbott rounding out the top 20 in that 32 car. Donnie Kite finishing 21st as he was in the lucky dog spot on that final caution, but just unfortunate was involved in that, so he couldn't get his lap back. Finishes 21st tonight. 22nd will be the 21 machine of Ruben Rodas. Jeff Childs finishing 23rd. Dave Wright finishing 24th. 25th will be the 29 machine of Christopher Busch. 26th, Brandon Wallace. 27th of Dan Adams. Tony Shelton finishing 28th. Timothy Presley 29th. And 30th of Tyler Martin. In 31st with Dylan Lamb, 32nd, Steve Rogers, Travis Shee, 33rd, Dustin Coggin, and Michael Mom being involved early on in tonight's incidents, finishing 34th and 35th, 51 laps down. So that was our results, and overall it was a very fun race tonight. And we'll bring in our race winner of Samuel Hoff. Samuel Hoff able to pick up the race win across the line, crashing. How's it feel able to get that race win?
Oh, it feels amazing. You know, brings back a little bit of confidence. Had a feeling that outside line was just going to come together coming off of 4. Alex is such a great pusher coming off of 4, and I had that confidence in him to push me up there, but then crossing the line sideways, oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
You're able to perfectly play that and able to get the race win. You had a long shot in the championship standings. You definitely needed tonight to go right, and you got it done. You got the race win, but unfortunately, you didn't really get the help you got from your rivals up there. But what does that mean going to the final 2 races here? What does confidence that bring? You got that win. You got a lot of opportunities left here. A lot of things can happen in these final 2 races. What's your thoughts on trying to bring it down and trying to come away with this championship here in these final 2 races?
Yeah, it's going to take a lot for sure. Going to need some help from some iRacing gods to make sure that the 10 and the 67 potentially either miss or don't finish one of these races coming up, which I don't foresee happening. Sadly, I think the 10 and 67 have both been too consistent this year to really insurmount. Had a little bit too much inconsistency to start this season. That's kind of put me in a hole. We'll see what happens when the points get updated, where we stand, how we look. But this 17 team is looking pretty strong to finish out here in 3rd, and that's the hope, is get that top 3 in the championship, get the payout prize, and continue moving on to season 2, and hopefully bring a Juicy Spider championship in.
It's still it's also do have kind of a team championship in a way there as well, so that'll be really good to watch out for as well. But able to pick up a good win tonight. Before you send it off on the way, any sponsors to thank for tonight's race win?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Juicy Spider Racing for supporting myself and my whole racing team. High Side Podcast, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, of course. Thanks for coming on for this race. We had a lot of special cars out there tonight for them. And then, of course, my main sponsor, Patty Engineering, and got to thank the man on the box, Donald Trump, just guiding me through this beautiful pack race here at Talladega tonight.
Okay, once again, congrats on the race win. We'll see you next week at Dover.
See you next week.
That's our race winner of Samuel Hoff. We'll bring in our 2nd place finisher of Connor Shabosian. But 2nd place in the points coming into tonight after the drop, able to still pick up a 2nd place finish, 1 spot above your championship rival there. How's it feel able to pick up 2nd in confidence that brings going into the final 2 races of the season?
Yeah, we had a good run going. Sam, Ryan, and I were working together pretty well that race. We had a strategy that worked out excellent, and we were definitely forced to be reckoned with. We were able to make any move we wanted all race and get to the front or save whenever we wanted. It was good working with those two. I know Sam got me. He made just the right move to get the outside there.
They're still able to get a 2nd place finish after a long break there. How does that break, you're a little bit behind, not too far, but you're still a little bit behind at the points after the break, on the break, and you have that break to kind of take your time and kind of think it over. And how did that break really affect the momentum, or did it build momentum, give you a little bit of rest to kind of take your mind off the championship? How did that break really affect you there?
The rest in the break was pretty nice, but I made some sim rig upgrades and didn't really put a whole lot of time into testing them out and getting used to them. So I was a little worried about that, but it all turned out well. It's a good track to come back on that. It's not really a track where I have to worry about tire saving too bad or certain commands or anything. I don't have to mess with my brake bias, so it didn't end up being too bad, and I think I'm getting more used to it.
Able to still pick up a solid 2nd place finish tonight, but before you send you off on the way, any sponsor thing for tonight's 2nd place finish?
Yeah, I gotta thank Moran Chevrolet, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, PPD, Painter Supply and Equipment, Michigan Independent Door Company, and the Pleasure Zone.
All right, well, once again, congrats on your 2nd place finish. We'll see you next week at Dover.
Thank you.
He's our 2nd place finisher of Connor Shabosian. We'll bring in our 3rd place finisher and our points leader of Alex Anderson. There's a little bit of stress going. I assume there's a little bit of nerves and stress going into the night, being the points leader, going into a super speedway, and you able to still pick up a third. How big of a relief is that?
Well, Talladega will take anything pretty much remotely inside the top 10, so gladly take that. That finish was awesome. I would totally go through that again. That all of a sudden, I'm just pushing Sam through the tri-oval. All of a sudden, bam, he's sideways. I'm in the catch fence, but it was a great time, great race. Yeah, 10 out of 10 would do again.
They're still able to pick up a solid points run tonight, able to pick up third. But we didn't have a lot of racing questions tonight. But how is the tonight differ? You know, able to get the pushing in the runs as well. How did that how the car really affects, and especially with pit stops there towards the end? Just explain how the racing was tonight.
Well,
Your eyes.
I was in a VC just by myself, as I usually am for this. So I was just kind of listening for when Connor and Sam were pitting, and I just followed them. But so the pit stop went beautiful. We all came out, and we were immediately the leaders after the final 3 cars pit, and we cycled back through. Kind of was hoping it would go green all the way, but the green white checkered made it more fun. And actually, I was in a better spot there because without the green white checkered, I would have been like 8th, taking 2 to go, stuck on the bottom. But the green white checker gave me some options. I was able to get up behind Sam and just push him as hard as I can, and got myself a top 3.
You're still able to pick up a solid third place run and a good point stay for you. But before you send it off on your way, any sponsors to thank for tonight's third place run?
I gotta thank my parents every single time. You already know. Sam for putting on the show. Mothers Against Drunk Driving for giving a sponsor. Great cause there. And you guys for giving us a broadcast, and everybody that showed up to race tonight, and hope to go to Dover, and I'm gonna try to win that one. That's my best track. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next week at Dover. And congrats once again on your third place run. And we'll see you next week at Dover.
All right, see you then. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, so that was Alex Anderson, our third place finisher tonight. And overall, a very solid race tonight. It's kind of a little lackluster through the center, as everyone was just kind of taking their time, taking it nice and easy, no really being too aggressive. But once it ramped up there in those final pit stops and got really aggressive, we had a really solid finish, especially with that green white checker there. But what's your final thoughts on tonight, Tom?
Yeah, you summed it up pretty good, but yeah, kind of just everything in that race. Honestly, we had a big crash early on. Green white checkered, pit stop strategy, somewhat team chemistry, team play coming to play in the race. I mean, the last lap crash coming to the line. It's a pretty hectic overall. I mean, this is a classic Talladega ARCA race, to be honest with you.
Yep, and the points are updated. So Alex Anderson, after tonight, he loses a little bit of points. He's 24 points ahead of Connor Shabosian going into Dover next week. Samuel Hoff in third in points, 184 back from Anderson. So he's got a lot of work to do. But we'll have that up on the graphic hopefully next week. We'll be able to show that, pop that up between those two next week in the final 2 races. But speaking of next week, we'll be going to Dover Motor Speedway in Dover, Delaware. So that will be a fun time next week here for the SuperStar ARCA Cup, 8 o'clock Eastern time, as always. And we also got coming up here next on the Legends Racing Network. We have Friday night, we have the IndyCar Cup Series. They'll be heading to Darlington there in their penultimate race of their regular season. We'll also have the Bolt Grand National Series on Saturday night. They'll be heading to Slinger. We'll also Sunday night we'll have the Stampede Racing League. They'll be at Rockingham, and then next week we'll have Daytona for the Tuesday night Bolt Racing League Tuesday Night Thunder. And then we'll be once again, as I already said, we'll have Dover next week as well for the SuperStar ARCA Cup to round out their penultimate race in their season. So we have a lot of fun races, a lot of interesting races that'll be coming up to here on the network here, and it's been a very fun race from Talladega tonight. But I'm Eric Brown, and joined alongside my co-commentator and producer tonight of Talon Drake. So long here from Talladega, and we'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network.